This week on the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime, right here on My 24 Milwaukee, we discuss Teddy Long's return to WWE. Yes, Teddy Long. Brock Lesnar returning to UFC, and discussion about why Smackdown may become the new Raw. All that along with hot news, the Event Center, DWHS, and be the booker for TNA Slammiversary. So sit back, relax, and get ready for the longest running wrestling talk show in the world right now on My 24 Milwaukee.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime TV, the longest-running pro wrestling news program in the world, with your hosts, David Hero and Damian Nelson.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime for Saturday, June 11th, 2016.
6'11".
Damian Nelson sitting alongside David the Octavius the Tiberius, the alleged backyard, one-time knockout, straight-edge, hardcore Hall of Famer, Hero.
You have been killing that intro.
I did it right that time.
5 weeks.
No, I did it right that time.
It's insulting, and it hurts.
You know what? Here's the thing. Can you do me a favor then? Yes. Can you script it for me and write it down so I can read it properly?
I don't know the words you use.
Oh, so how am I doing it wrong if you don't know the words I use?
It doesn't sound authentic.
It doesn't sound authentic.
No.
Do you need a do you need a teleprompter maybe, and then that way you can read it for yourself, to yourself?
So you're saying I'm scripted?
I'm saying that perhaps you'd be better off scripted.
Yeah, people have said that.
I have said that, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. What a week it's been and what a weekend it will be. But before we get to that, let's go to this week's big story, which, of course, as always, is brought to you by Gruber Law Offices, who is ready to represent you in your personal injury case and get you the compensation that you deserve. All you have to do is give them a call at 414-276-6666 for your free consultation right now. Last weekend during UFC 199, did you watch that, David Hero?
No.
It was announced that former UFC champion and current WWE star Brock Lesnar would be returning at UFC 200, their next event on July 9th, to face an unknown opponent. Now, unknown at that time, as it would later be announced that that opponent is Mike Hunt.
The Samoan warrior.
Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
Not Mike Hunt.
It doesn't make a
difference. That's a whole different name.
Yeah. But he's a Samoan warrior, Samoan savage. I don't know, something.
Does he have
Samoan.
the tattoo?
Oh, yeah, he's got him.
Well, that blockbuster announcement was followed by a statement from WWE that said, and I quote, Brock Lesnar remains under contract to WWE. However, he has been granted a one-off opportunity to compete at UFC 200. Now, following this milestone event on July 9th, Brock will return to WWE for SummerSlam on August 21st, live on the WWE
That's
Network.
Only if he clears the physical.
He has been given an exclusion. He no longer has to participate in that physical.
Oh, he doesn't?
Yes, for SummerSlam.
You know, what an interesting scenario they're in right now.
What do you mean?
Well, because they're going to let Brock Lesnar go back to the UFC.
Yes.
Which I don't understand why.
What do you mean you don't understand why? Cross-promotional opportunity, huge.
So much stuff could go wrong. Brock Lesnar, he won't, but he could lose.
In all likelihood, he should lose, shouldn't he?
And he loses to a guy that's a no-name.
Really?
Oh, God, yeah. And then what does that do for the streak and everything else you've done with Brock Lesnar?
I don't think it matters because he's back in the UFC live on pay-per-view at a milestone event, as it was called.
Fine, but Mark Hunt or Sam Hunt or Hunt Ketchup, whatever you want to call him, the fact is that he's an opening card guy.
All they want, the purpose of this is to have Brock Lesnar on the marquee 100 events after, I believe he had won his first UFC championship at UFC 100.
Okay, but I think it could be bad.
You want it to be bad.
No, I don't. God, no.
You're a collusionist.
No, I'm not a collusionist. I believe in God. I'm just saying that, you know, it could go. They're obviously trying to get Ronda Rousey and others involved from UFC to WWE, okay, and do a big crossover thing. But let's say Brock Lesnar let's say he does lose. What does that do for the brand?
You tell me. What, in your mind, as Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate in WWE,
here's what it does.
What does it do?
Every UFC fighter says, see, they're fake fighters.
They already say that.
But they're going to say it. And
now they have proof, if you will?
Yeah, that by beating the big dog. They're saying that the biggest star in WWE is not as good as our opening card guy.
But they won't say that.
They won't have to. It'll be there.
The spectacle.
You know I'm right. Come on.
No, actually, in this case, I vehemently
so you think
disagree.
if Brock Lesnar loses, it's okay?
I don't think it matters at all. He's back in the UFC. He is a WWE star.
Yeah.
Participating in and headlining on.
Who is their biggest competition?
UFC's?
WWE, yeah.
WWE.
Yeah, in UFC. Yeah.
Yeah. So now they're working together.
They want the other to lose. To show
They both win.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
What is your hatred here?
It's not. If Brock Lesnar loses, he's done with UFC.
Well, of course, he's done with UFC before he goes into after this.
And then Brock Lesnar is no longer viewed as a special attraction top main event guy.
I completely
No,
disagree.
you're wrong. Just
Completely
so you know.
disagree. I didn't say you were wrong. I just said I disagree.
No, I'm right. You can't say I'm wrong because I think I'm being honest.
This is huge, but the question is, what does this mean for the relationship between WWE and UFC? Because clearly one has been formed.
It means that they both want to make money together. The cross-promotion dollars will be huge because they'll be referencing WWE and all their stuff. But like I said, Brock Lesnar should win. He should go in there and he should destroy this guy.
He should, and maybe he will.
But if he doesn't, I think it's all bad.
So what if he does? Go in and destroy this guy.
Well, I think that's great. I hope he proved himself that he's a UFC fighter and that, you know, his illness was the reason for his downfall.
If Brock wins, who does he go into SummerSlam with? If he wins.
He's got to go after the World Championship then.
If Brock loses, who does he go into SummerSlam with?
Well, Brooklyn Brawler got released. So. What?
Here's what we don't know. We don't know who's going to be where at come SummerSlam because the brand split's going to occur before then.
So, hey, answer me this.
Yes.
Or riddle me this, Batman.
I'm neither. I'm the Joker.
If, let's just say, Brock Lesnar wins.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Then he goes on to SummerSlam. Do you have him become your world champion?
Don't you have to?
I would like to believe that, yes.
What did WWE get out of this? Because they didn't just give Brock Lesnar up.
Sports Center.
You think that's it?
A lot of mainstream.
Let me pitch this to you. Down the road, as they continue to build new stars, and as Triple H said in an interview earlier this week, or in a conference call earlier this week, he doesn't care where talent comes from as long as it's talent. There's one name out there who I think could be very successful in WWE on a long-term basis once his UFC time is done, and that is Conor McGregor.
I don't know if
he has all of it.
I don't know if Conor McGregor can play by those rules.
Such as?
The WWE is a micromanaged company.
They don't micromanage Brock Lesnar, though. I'm not sure they would micromanage a Conor McGregor. Okay, Ronda Rousey.
I think Ronda would fit in great because she's a wrestling fan. She's been a wrestling fan for quite a while.
It was also revealed that at UFC 202 in August, I believe, that CM Punk will be making his fighting debut. Now, is there a long-term plan potentially to utilize that former WWE star in the company? Have they gotten back at Punk by making this deal with the UFC to bring Punk in again and use him in such a way that WWE sees fit?
So what you're asking me is how WWE kind of main evented Punk again?
They could have in this instance.
Yeah. I think
company always wins.
No, they do because they're the bigger conglomerate.
Well, they usually win.
It'll be interesting to see how Punk does in that fight. If he loses, he's done.
A lot of discussion, a lot of questions about Brock Lesnar's appearance in UFC for their event on July 9th. We'll be talking much more about this in the coming weeks, of course.
There's still so much more to come here on Primetime.
Why did Teddy Long return to WWE this past Monday night? Will Smackdown become the new Raw?
Find out the answers to these questions and many more when Primetime returns here on My24 Milwaukee and Fight TV.
The Soder family thought they'd take a road trip this summer. A little fun, a little sun. What could possibly go wrong? Even under the best driving conditions, semi-trucks can still be dangerous. The results of being in a wreck with 40 tons of steel and speed can be catastrophic. And it only gets worse when you don't have Gruber Law Offices on your side. If you or a loved one has been injured by a semi-truck, call Gruber Law Offices now. One call, that's all.
Pro Wrestling Report, primetime Saturday night here on My 24 Milwaukee. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero. And let's go into this week's WWE Report, which is brought to you by Fight TV, which also features, now that's F-I-T-E Fight, which also features dozens of other viewing options from professional wrestling, boxing, MMA, and of course, this very show, the Pro Wrestling Report. Now, you can download the app for free in the Google Play and iTunes stores and start exploring now. And you can watch TNA Slammiversary tomorrow on Fight TV. That's F-I-T-E. Now, David, WWE gave us an interesting surprise return this past Monday night on Raw when Teddy Long, player, returned to take the place of Shane McMahon, working with Stephanie McMahon, trying to reprise his role as general manager. Now, we all remember the holla days of SmackDown and him also being the longest running general manager in company history. Now, those were fun days for sure, even though each week you knew Teddy Long would be booking a tag match main event.
You thought that was fun?
A point made fun of by himself on Monday. I enjoyed the Teddy Long SmackDown days, yes.
Teddy Long is blocked.
I watched
Twitter.
SmackDown.
Do you believe that?
He's what?
Blocked me on Twitter.
What'd you do?
I have no idea. I've never worked with Teddy Long.
Huh.
Crazy, isn't it? Did you say something to him?
I have actually never met Teddy Long.
You haven't?
No, I don't think so.
Never ever?
Forever, ever. Long's appearance on the show will likely amount to nothing more, but it brought up an interesting scenario for the time between now and the brand split. Might we see some more returns? Now, I, for one, would love to see Vicky Guerrero return to reprise her role for a night as well. Now, Vicky was the GM for nearly 3 years combined, and there's no doubt she was one of the biggest and best heels in that company while she was there.
You can't do that.
Why not?
Because you're trying to build a new era of stars.
Yes, and all these people want to be back to be a part of it.
You can't bring back Teddy Long and Vicky Guerrero.
They did already.
But you shouldn't.
Why not? Mr. Nostalgia Pop.
But not
you didn't enjoy Teddy Long on Raw this past Monday night. Really?
I did not.
Really?
I did not. He didn't fit anymore.
No, he didn't. I don't disagree with that, but it was fun. Okay, so you wanted that 3-hour program without Teddy Long. That added nothing to it for you.
Did he add anything?
Yeah, he made a tag match. He added a lot.
He got buried by Stephanie on the way out, too.
It didn't matter. He was there. He had fun. It made sense. SmackDown's going live. They want to put focus on the fact that SmackDown's going live. Bring back Teddy Long, who's associated with SmackDown, and he wants to go on SmackDown again because SmackDown is going live. It made all the sense in the world.
Would you put him on?
No, and as I just said, there's no future for him.
Okay.
This is a one-off fun thing. Don't you want to have fun, David Hero, when you watch wrestling?
I love fun, and I do.
With the capital F-U?
At times, yeah.
And you don't want to see Vicky back. They can't do that. What about Booker T? What about Kurt Angle? What if they came back and tried to lobby for their positions as the SmackDown general manager? Again.
I don't know. No. You're going backwards.
To get forward, though. None of this, they won't. I'm not saying.
Today, you're disagreeing with just about everything I've been talking about.
Because I think you're medicated. Because you sound different this week. I'm simply saying that in the build up to the brand split, let's go back and talk about how great the last brand splits were at times. Okay. And let's use these talents who would otherwise have no reason to be on the program to get that extra boost bump and intrigue built for the brand split.
Okay.
Don't you ever look at me like that while we're sitting on this set.
What I do?
You know exactly what you did. The head scratch, the okay, yeah, you know exactly what you did. Remember when I said fun with a capital? Yeah. Even though it was a bit corny at times, I was a big fan of seeing the playa back on Raw this past Monday night.
Still to come here on Primetime, Diamond of the Ring, DWHS, the Event Center, and this week's hot news.
All that and more when Primetime returns here on My 24 Milwaukee and Fight TV.
Honor Wrestling rolls into Milwaukee on Sunday, June 12th at the Turner Hall Ballroom with a 7 p.m. bell time. Visit ROHWrestling.com now for tickets and info.
Hello, this is Jeff Hardy, the Charismatic Enigma, and you're watching the Pro Wrestling Report on My 24 Milwaukee.
back, ladies and gentlemen. The Pro Wrestling Report, primetime Saturday night. David, you feeling any better?
I do. I feel great.
It's like the Bizarro David here this week.
I feel level.
Headed?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Hot News, of course, is brought to you by PWRshow.com, where you can watch all of our broadcasts on the web, on demand, on your schedule, on your time. That's at PWRshow.com, where you can also check out PWR Reaction, which is live on Mondays and Wednesday nights. And it features your live phone calls. In ratings news this week, ladies and gentlemen, WWE maintained their viewership levels from the last few weeks for WWE Raw, which had 3.25 million viewers, just about equal to last week's viewership and the week before. But, however, viewership declined sharply in the third hour, where they lost nearly 18% of the audience, with 2.9 million viewers for that last hour. Now, this poses an interesting question there, David.
Yes.
Listen carefully, all right? Will Smackdown be the new Raw? Now, it appears that Raw will remain a 3-hour show after the brand split in July, and SmackDown will stay at 2 hours. Now, given the regular decline in the third-hour viewership for Raw, does this put SmackDown in a place to become the must-see show each week, because it will be that much easier to digest?
It all depends on what name brand you have on your show.
You still think it's Cena and Styles, right?
Yes. Which makes perfect sense right now, the way they're going.
Certainly does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Who knew?
Ah, maybe you did.
I had a hunch.
So, but will SmackDown become the new Raw? Will Tuesday nights become destination television?
No.
Well, fans are showing that they can't endure en masse 3 hours of Raw on Monday nights.
So you think they can barely get through 3 hours on Monday, and they're going to come back the next night and watch 2?
No, I'm saying that maybe they are going to bypass Raw and watch SmackDown instead.
Because we're programmed to watch Monday Night Raw.
But here's the thing: if you and even I as a fan, if I don't get the opportunity to watch Raw live,
you don't watch it.
Because in my mind, that's a 3-hour plus commitment that I need to make on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
You're not a guy.
And I don't want to, in my mind, waste that time. Now, different story. NXT, if I miss that, that's a quick, easy hour.
You can zip right through.
Exactly. SmackDown, if I watched that on a more regular basis, which of course I will start now, that's 2 hours easy to digest. By the time you're done, it's about an hour you can get through it. But on Raw,
you got Impact.
Most people are going to watch it live. Most people are going to watch SmackDown live when it goes live. And
So
I just think it's an easy...
2 hours of SmackDown, 2 hours of Impact. That right there is 7. You throw another hour of NXT is 8. You got Ring of Honor, that's an hour.
9.
Throwing some other you got at least a good
Lucha,
10 hours of wrestling.
10. New Japan, 11.
That is a quarter of the work week.
Now, Lucha's only 30 minutes. I and some people
watch all of it
every week.
You know, Mike Shutnick does. He watches.
Who's that?
Mike Shutnick. He watches wrestling all the time. He has a fancy phone now, and he watches it on there.
On the Fight TV app?
Yeah.
FITE?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you don't believe there's a chance SmackDown's going to become the new Raw, like Orange is the New Black?
No, not at all. There's a better chance of Omar the Hookah Man winning a match this summer than Raw becoming the SmackDown and SmackDown becoming
I think
Raw.
there's an opportunity that with the focus WWE is going to put on SmackDown, that perhaps SmackDown will indeed become the new Raw.
Okay.
In my opinion. But let's hear your opinion, David Hero, on who should be this week's Diamond of the Ring.
Simple. This week's Roberthack Diamond
Roberthack,
Diamond
King of Diamonds here in Milwaukee,
is EC3. Now,
Ethan
you
Carter
may not
III.
have seen it because it was on his Twitter account, but we
Twitter.
all saw the Brother Nero broken Matt Hardy contract signing last week,
which a lot of people hated. I loved.
It was great TV. EC3 did his own parody of that.
Of course he would.
With Rockstar Spud and Tyrus and Eli Drake, and it was fantastic. It was funny, haha. It was creative, and just that alone scored cool points for me.
Cool points.
So this week's Roberthack Diamond of the Ring is EC3.
Ethan Carter.
Yeah.
I like that.
I did too. That's why I picked it.
We're going to talk more about EC3 later in Be the Booker. Actually, in the next segment, Be the Booker for Slammiversary, which is this Sunday. Yes, we're doing a Be the Booker for a TNA pay-per-view.
For TNA Impact Wrestling?
Huh?
Who knew?
Well,
you bury the company all the time.
That's this week's Diamond of the Ring.
In just a few moments, it's this week's DWHS Event Center and Be the Booker for TNA Slammiversary.
When PrimeTime returns here on My 24 Milwaukee and Fight TV.
Gruber Law Offices, we understand that when you've been injured, life is tough. That's why we offer so many services for free. First call, free. First consultation, free. Stuck at home or in the hospital? We'll come to you for free. We'll deal with the insurance company for you and get you the help you need. Call Gruber Law Offices now. We don't get paid until you do, and your first consultation is always free.
Welcome back, fans, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night. It's the final leg of this week's journey, and it's time to find out what the spoken word has in store for us, David Hero.
Word. Well, you know, my Monday Night Wars on Twitter have been getting pretty intense.
Hashtag?
Hashtag Monday Night Wars. And what it is everyone once again complaining, even though the club left John Cena laying again, that John Cena is going to bury AJ Styles.
Okay.
Again, how does he bury him? He's not on creative. He shows up the match. Yes, he may have some stroke, whatever else, but he's, again, been elevating AJ Styles. AJ's been elevating himself. They're going to have a feud that is almost reminiscent to me of Hulk Hogan and Paul Orndorff. Remember when Orndorff turned on Hogan?
Oh, yeah.
Big pile driver?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking at right here. And AJ Styles is elevated to top guy, and he's going to sustain because he's that good.
Is AJ not elevated to top guy already?
He is upper card. He's not top guy. That's John Cena. That's Roman Reigns.
No, I hear you.
That's Brock Lesnar. So just relax, fans. It's going to get there. It's going to be a trilogy. And AJ will beat John Cena in one of these matches. And then you can all be happy. Until he loses, then they can all pout. With that, David Hero has spoken.
Welcome to the PWR Event Center, brought to you by Casablanca on Brady, bringing you the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine in a truly unique dining experience.
Head on down to Casablanca for some great food and some tremendous hookah featuring my favorite flavor, watermelon mint.
Ring of Honor invades Milwaukee tomorrow night for the road to Best in the World. See the stars of ROH at Turner Hall live tomorrow night. We'll be there, right, Julie?
We will.
Make sure to come join us. It's always a blast at Turner Hall. Tickets will be available for purchase at the door and are still available now at papstheater.org.
See live pro wrestling over 2 big shows on the same day in Wisconsin. First, join us at the Thirsty Beaver in Beaver Dam on July 9th at 3 o'clock p.m., where former WWE star Kevin Thorne will be in action.
Then from there, on the same night, see former WWE and TNA star Mr. Kennedy in action at the Ashevin Fireman's Picnic at 6 p.m. Details on both events, along with tickets, are available now at blizzardbrawl.com.
That's it for this week's Event Center, brought to you by Casablanca on Brady.
It's time for Be the Booker for tomorrow's Slammiversary pay-per-view. Now, before we get to that, David Hero, it's important to note, we've not talked about the NXT TakeOver event from this past Wednesday.
No, we have not. What? That's you right there.
Here's the thing. No. I started getting some indications that you were a bit testy earlier in the week, so I decided to do a review of NXT TakeOver.
Oh, that's what that was.
On Wednesday after the show. So that's available on our website, pwrshow.com, and also on our YouTube channel. But there is yet another pay-per-view event this weekend.
Yeah, look at this.
And as I said, that is TNA Slammiversary. Now, there are several matches on the card. However, we're going to focus on 4 due to time constraints. And the first one will be Mike Bennett going up against this week's Diamond of the Ring, Ethan Carter III.
EC3 against Mike Bennett, 2 young blue chipper studs.
I thought you almost said Bucks.
No, those are 2 other guys. But EC3 and Bennett. Bennett's been under the skin of EC3 now for quite a while.
He's quite the miracle.
He is a miracle, and he has Maria Kanellis, his wife, along with him,
who's busy with Gail Kim.
Yes, she is.
Sunday night,
and it's going to be a solid match. 2 young guys that can go out there and go, and it's time for EC3 to get his revenge. And I look for EC3 to finally get back at Mike Bennett for all the shenanigans and nonsense he's been putting him through since Mike Bennett basically cost him the TNA Impact World Heavyweight Championship.
Very true, folks. Next up is the Decay versus the Bromance.
The TNA Impact World Heavyweight Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Abyss and Crazy Steve, against your guys, Robbie E. and Jesse, with their
Cotters.
With their guru, Raquel.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. No. And, what's interesting is, Robbie E. he's an expecting dad.
Either a boy and a girl or 2 boys.
Well, it's supposed to be a boy and a girl, but the first ultrasound was confusing, I guess, but now it's two boys.
Those umbilical cords get in the way sometimes.
Robbie, well, it's Robbie's kids, so I'm not that surprised. This is going to be a good match because Robbie and Jesse are two great characters.
Absolutely.
They're better heels than baby faces, and Abyss, we all know about Abyss, and Crazy Steve has taken his game to a new level for the TNA Impact Heavyweight Championship. I gotta believe the Bromans are gonna become the new TNA Impact World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Just because I don't want to see Abyss win.
I don't know why you still harbor hatred. But, folks, the next matchup is a Full Metal Mayhem match, and that will be Matt Hardy versus Brother Nero.
This match
Jeff Hardy.
should be shot the same way they shot that promo.
I just had a flashback to that, what was that match in the truck with Dustin Rhodes and
The Blacktop Bully?
Yeah.
Barry Darso.
Yeah.
They both got fired.
And none of it was their, well, it was their fault, but that whole concept was horrid.
Who has a match driving on the back of a truck? WCW, almost said TNA. Matt versus Jeff.
Knocked my marker out of my hand. Where'd it go?
Brother Nero against Broken Matt. It's going to be interesting, but you got to believe Jeff Hardy, Brother Nero.
He's got to win, doesn't he?
Oh my gosh, he has to win. And he has to put Matt. The only way Matt Hardy can be saved is to lose to his brother Jeff right now.
Okay. Makes some sense. Real quick, though, the main event matchup must end in either a tap out or a knockout. That's Bobby Lashley trying to take the title away from Drew Galloway.
You have legit MMA fighter Bobby Lashley against Drew Galloway.
Yep.
And they have been building up Drew Galloway for quite some time.
Yeah.
Since October or November of last year.
Oh, yeah,
you
easily.
I'm a Bobby Lashley guy, but I got to believe that Drew Galloway is going to take his game to the next level. He's going to knock out Bobby Lashley.
What?
Make him tap. He's going to knock him out.
That is a bold statement, David Hero. We'll see what happens come tomorrow at TNA's Slammiversary event from Orlando, available on the FITE Fight TV app and pay-per-view. For that one, this is Damian Nelson saying we'll see you again soon here on the Pro Wrestling Report and next Saturday for PWR Primetime here on My 24.